I'm Jay Horton. I make movies that make money. This is how. Many times when you're trying something new in filmmaking, a bunch of filmmakers that have failed at that very thing in the past will pop up and tell you it's a waste of time. But please, I implore you, don't let others' lack of success at something deter you from giving it a shot. When I first started making low-budget movies, movies with budgets way south of like $25,000, I had a bunch of seasoned filmmakers telling me, you can't do it like that. You can't make movies that cheap. You may finish the movie, but it's gonna suck and no one will watch it, and they definitely won't make any money. But I didn't listen. I moved forward, and you know what? Most of them did make money. Many of them were very good, and I finished every single one of them. Sure, not every movie was a home run creatively or financially, but it turned out that this super low budget movie thing, it's a very viable business model that I continue to make my living with to this day. And this same train of thought carries over into distribution as well. Take streaming distribution, for example. When I started messing around with streaming distribution back in like 2010, I can't tell you how many filmmakers said, there's no money to be made in streaming, and there never will be. Smash cut to a decade later, and streaming revenue is the preeminent means for exhibition income amongst independent films. Or look at YouTube distribution. I've been told over the years by so many different filmmakers that uploading full feature movies to YouTube is a waste of time, that it would earn nothing. And for years, I believed it. And all that negative talk around it kept me from ever giving it a shot. Until recently, that is. Just a few months back, I took the dive and I started putting up some of my older feature library on YouTube, both through my own channel and through licensing to a couple of bigger movie channels. And surprise, surprise, almost right away, I started to see some income. That first month, I earned just north of around $1,000, and that was on less than half a dozen older movies. The newest one is over a decade old, and none of them are what I would consider to be in the top 50% of my work. And some of the numbers have went up since. Now, that said, don't let this minor, and it is minor, success story fool you into thinking that it's easy or likely to happen. Just getting to the point where I could monetize on YouTube at all, just getting to the point where I could monetize on YouTube took me almost a full year of creating and uploading 2 to 3 new videos a week. Plus, a good amount of my numbers here could probably be contributed to luck. I fully admit it. But it's still likely a viable distribution option, or at the least a component thereof, and proof that if you have the will and take the time, you can make different strategies work. Now, of course, these YouTube numbers are relatively small. I still make more on my movies on other places like Tubi or Amazon or Pluto. And yes, I said Amazon. But the YouTube thing can be a nice supplement. And I look forward to seeing how some of the newer movies perform there over the next year. Someone once said, we come into this world alone, and we leave it alone. I'd say that's kind of a sad way to look at life, but in the world of indie filmmaking and making our way through it, it kind of holds water. We have to be our own cheerleaders, our own motivators. Sure, outside support can be great, but we often have to find the strength within ourselves just to keep going. So whatever you do, keep making movies.